Welcome to the Arcaders Pub. Due to possible use of language and potential discussion topics, this pubcast is not recommended for younger audiences. So please, use discretion and common sense while listening. You got all that? Okay, then grab yourself a drink and let's talk some video games!
Welcome back, guys. After about 2 months of hiatus, we are back now. Unfortunately, our the usual owner of this fine place is currently in bed due to having to deal with Hades' heart in his stomach. So with me, I have is the Rayquaza Rider and Ace Pilot Rayquaza Rider.
Were you about to call me Rayquaza Wider? I'm Elmer Fudd, so I'm gonna be a wider.
I think it was a slight lisp he got there.
Speaking of wisp, we have the old veteran Rhino here.
I'm no veteran, that's for sure.
See, this is why we don't put drunk as the bartender, as a new bartender.
Technically, we're not in. The bartender's not here. Technically, we're actually in.
We're in the back alley. We're in the back alley because the bartender kicked us out because we were too noisy. Also, because Rayquaza ate all the pancakes.
Yeah. After he ate all the clones.
Daniel won't give me any more of his clones, so I have to feed Rayquaza other ways.
Alright, so we're gonna start with what we've been playing, so let's start with you, Rayquaza.
Do I have to?
Yes.
You were chosen.
Alright, fine. So, like usual, I have not been playing Pokemon recently because Pokemon's stupid. See the irony there? Because I'm the Rayquaza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. Alright, so I played a couple of games recently. The first one was, Bravely Second End Layer for Nintendo 3DS, which, anyone who can see the massive amount of RPGs that I play, you can definitely see for a fact that I would love a game like this. So, Bravely Second, this long-awaited sequel to the legendary RPG, quote, not really, Bravely Default, finally released in America.
2 years later.
What?
2 years later than the first one.
2 years later. Yep, so, long awaited, because people have been waiting for this game ever since the nice teaser at the end of Bravely Default. It's been 2 years, I really don't care. So, my opinions of the games. Now, I'm not really too far in the game. I've only played because it came out right when Final started for me in college. I really didn't have a lot of time to play it. But from what I've done so far, very first good impressions. Literally, the first thing that happens when I start the game is they just recap the first game's events very well. So, that was one of my major problems was they wouldn't do that. So I'm glad they actually did inside this game. Then of course next they decided to have, then when I actually start the game up itself and I start a new file and everything, the events that happen just were great because they introduced the main villain and they show off how awesome he is and pretty much showed all the major characters just being killed, not really because they aren't killed. So it's a very good start to the game. And also, this game is pretty much a pun heaven because there are so many puns in this game. It's ridiculous.
Let me guess, it had a rocky start.
No, it didn't have a rocky start. It had a very good start. Nice try though. You have a character you have characters that pretty much are based around their names. Like, for example, you have this up-and-coming NPC that are trying to get a job called Go-Getter. One of the characters is a Catmancer who only does cat puns.
Well, that's a perfect.
And then later on, there's a character who's in charge of a bathhouse, and all he does is bath puns. I'm gonna wash my hands of these puns later on.
I think I need to wash my brain of it.
So if you don't like puns, have fun Bravely Second, because it's just gonna be one wild ride of. In terms of gameplay, though, it's also all the great gameplay from the first game with some better balancing. Like, for example, you can't really, like in the first game, you can just chain up. You can just chain one turn on kills just to get a crap ton of EXP. You can't do that here. Like, you can still do it, but they made it into a way where you do, instead of having like where you battle and then you can just chain up after every subsequent battle you have, just going through the world map. This time, if you get a one-turn kill, you can choose to battle another wave of enemies right after, and you can keep doing the chain up more and more enemies, which makes grinding good, but it also could screw you over if you like one of those people get one-turn kills by just using up all your brave points right away. So you like have -4 brave every one, and you can't act for 4 turns on the second match if you decide to go forward. And of course, there's sometimes where you're just doing autopilot and you decided to use all your brave points, and there's some, and they'll automatically give you a second wave of enemies just out of nowhere because they do warn you at the beginning of the match, but it's just yay.
Have you played any of the new classes yet?
Yes, I have. I've played Wizard, which is just a enhanced magic thing, which is pretty good. I have Bishop, which pretty much allows me to double my spell efficiency if I use it twice, which is fun. My favorite so far is probably Fencer. Like I said, I haven't gotten too far, so I don't have any of the better classes. I'm literally in the dungeon to go get Catmancer, but I haven't had time to finish the dungeon yet. But with Fencer, I can be like, oh hey, I'm gonna increase my power by like 125%. I'm gonna buff up my attack. Then I'm gonna attack and switch to a defense stance, and keep going back and forth between attack and defense stance. And you keep all the buffs with that, and it's just really nice that way. So then I'm gonna get Catmancer soon, which is pretty much Vampire in the first game, where you able to, or probably the more specific one you probably know is Blue Mage, where you can just take all monster abilities and use them. You can do the same thing with Catmancer. And yes, I know a lot of you wondering why didn't they use Necromancer as their pun for that character. Well, because they have enough puns already. Actually, the reason why they didn't do Necromancer, because I actually went to a...
No, I'm pretty sure there aren't many people the west side that would actually get that reference.
I was just about to say that. Like, when I went to PAX East a couple weeks ago, I went to this panel on Bravely Second over there, and they literally said that they didn't use Necromancer because they didn't think a lot of people in the West would actually get the joke.
What's the joke?
Necromancer. For the Catmancer, Necromancer. Sounds like Necromancer.
Okay,
Yeah, like Neko in Japanese means cat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, Dan Van Dyke is our living representation of what the East thought of the West.
Thank you, Daniel, for being the reason why I'm not getting half the JRPGs I should be getting this year.
Sorry.
Overall, Bravely Second is very good, and I do. If from what I know of the game, it actually has remedied a lot of the things. Like, for example, all the repetitiveness that happened in the first game doesn't happen in this game. Like, there are some repetitiveness, but it's done in a way that's much better than the first game. But I can't give away spoilers. Elaborating any more than that will give away spoilers.
How about the characterization? Okay. General characterization of characters?
The character, so the new character, like
a lot of people complained about in the first game how the characters were very archetypal and doesn't have much of a personality in them.
The NPCs or the main characters?
The main characters.
The main characters
they did seem to run into just the 4 main stereotypes for main characters.
It's kind of similar in this game too, but it's put a lot more. But instead of just being generically into their characters, they definitely have serious moments while they have the archetypes, but they play more of them than just having just them. Like, they make fun of the characters inside the game for having this multiple archetypes. Like the playable characters are, you have Tiz and Edea from the first game, who are playable, and then you have new characters whose pretty much shtick is he's just like a knight who keeps saying gravy. His pun is pretty much just like, we're going to give him the coup de gravy, which is really stupid.
I hope he doesn't say wearing gravy danger.
No, he's not that bad. And then
Well,
there's
that's at least something.
And then there's Magnolia, who is from the moon, and she's just this older sister archetype who definitely is supposed to have a bit of sex appeal to her.
Okay, this is actually something that I've wanted to know because I haven't had a chance to do much research into Bravery Second.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler warning for if you don't want to hear this, we'll cut it out anyway.
No, we're not.
But
we're not.
Oh yeah.
Okay, at least put a little
Daniel's in charge of
spoiler warning
editing.
about it.
Dan started editing, so any spoilers will not get past.
Okay, at least okay.
All right, Ryan, what you're asking?
I'm at least going to put a spoiler warning. So Dan, at least make sure that there is a bit of a jump between this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a spoiler warning thing.
Okay, so Ryan, what did you want to ask?
At the end of Bravely Default, Tiz basically dies.
Not really.
That's just well, his spirit basically leaves him because he was. That's basically what happens in a nutshell.
Okay, this isn't for those who are playing Bravely Second. It's not much of a spoiler because they literally say this in the opening cutscene that recaps the first.
Yeah,
game.
but the people that haven't, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So pretty much, Tiz doesn't really die. Yes, when he was saved from the wreckage of Norende, where his entire hometown was just destroyed by a Celestial. The Celestial being the actual player of the game, and so they decided. So when his soul left, his body was still alive technically, he just didn't have any spirit to inhabit it. And then in the actual game, they decided they were able to reunite his soul with his body, and he became playable.
Huh.
It happens in the first 5 hours of the game, so it still happens in the prologue of the game, so I don't really see a problem spoiling that. But it's yeah.
Well, I'm so.
It doesn't happen in the beginning of the game.
Huh?
I would have thought he would be brought back in the first chapter of the game.
Yeah, no, he is being. Yeah, he's in the prologue. He gets back in the prologue.
5 hours just for the prologue, though. That actually takes longer to get into it than it was in Bravely Default. Then
It's not like things don't just happen, though. A lot of things happen in that prologue. It's not as slow as you might think. It took me 5 hours because I'm playing on hard mode. I had to grind, but
fair enough.
so it really depends on your difficulty. So any more questions on Bravely Second?
Not that I think of. No.
Okay, so before we move on, there's one more game I do want to mention I played recently. And I think Daniel, you might like this because I think you played this series. It's a fighting game series. Blaze Blue.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, so
Blaze Blue.
I played Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger and Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend this week in between my finals, and I just finished the story mode earlier. I just finished Continuum Shift's story mode earlier today.
I haven't finished Continuum Shift story mode, but I know what happens and stuff. I really wanted to finish it, but I think my main problem is my computer is not as powerful to run it. So, but I do love it.
Yeah.
Like Bang Shishigami is my favorite character from
Of
that
course he is.
series.
Of course he is.
So, what do you think of it?
So I didn't really play any other modes besides story mode, so I'll just quickly touch on the story and gameplay. The gameplay is very fun. My only experience of Arc System Works games before this was Persona 4 Arena, so I had to take and because the battle systems are pretty different, even though having similar button commands, it was definitely a little easier.
There was a bit of a learning curve to get into it.
It wasn't too much of a learning curve with it. At least
there was a bit, though.
Yeah, there was a bit of a learning curve.
Much like any other fighter, and in Continuum Shift, they introduced this thing called Stylish Mode, which it makes it more like Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Stylish Mode made my life a lot easier getting through the story mode
yeah.
because I didn't want to play the story on less than normal, So the first game took me a while, just because I played everything on normal, and then the second, and especially the first game, where it's just like, oh hey, yeah, you have to lose to everyone to get 100% in the story mode. So that was fun. And then the second game, I feel like Continuum Shift is much better than the first game, just because, just in terms of story at least, because the first game was a bit all over the place. Like the Continuum Shift was also all over the place with the story, but Calamity Trigger just wasn't as tight and didn't plan things as much. While Continuum Shift, not only did you have a deep story and character development for a lot of the major characters, you also had enough gag content that made me really enjoy what I was seeing. Also, those gag endings are still making me cringe. It's just remembering them now.
Oh, you mean when a certain blob monster is involved?
Arachnes? I don't know. Arachnes gag
There's
ending?
a gag ending. There's an ending where he ends up absorbing Bang, Ragna, and somebody else because of a competition.
I don't think he's seen that one.
No, I've seen all of them. I 100% did the story mode, so I've sort of seen it. I don't remember it though. Was that? That doesn't sound like Arachnes.
I think it's some other character. It's like some of the other characters, not Arachne himself, but it's like he's involved. But
yeah, I just don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Are you talking about the part about Makoto and certain evil scientists?
Wait, are you talking about releases?
Yes.
Okay, we're not gonna talk.
The one where Makoto got strapped into a certain contraption?
Are we talking about the same game?
Yeah. Okay, so there's an ending where Makoto gets captured by Relius Clover, and she ends up being put on a device that destroys her soul.
Yeah,
bad end.
Yeah, she. Oh, no, it wasn't her alternate. It was. I don't know. I just played Makoto's story this morning, so I don't. Like, I know she had her soul switch in Relius's ending, but. In Relius's gag ending, but. Oh, we're probably thinking too much into this.
Well, it was a bad ending for Makoto.
It was her bad ending?
Yeah.
Oh. All Relius did was just look into her. All Relius did was just look into her soul. In that ending. Anywho, overall, I did enjoy both games. I'm not playing game Chrono Phantasm Extend anytime soon because it's still $30 on Steam. So unless I can get it cheaper elsewhere, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Especially if I'm only gonna play the game for the story.
My question is, how convoluted is the plot compared to Kingdom Hearts?
I actually think that's kind of. Well, I don't consider plot. I actually try to understand plots.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a Kingdom Hearts professor, so I study that shit.
The professor of the Kingdom Hearts.
So I study that.
He's gone through college and got a PhD in Kingdom Heartry.
Please. Yeah, so I deserve. I'm professor of Kingdom Hearts. So as someone who I actually do study Kingdom Hearts' story though, as a side hobby, don't judge. So compared to Kingdom Hearts, I feel like it was definitely convoluted, but it was still pretty. I still was able to follow everything going forward. Like by the end of unlike another thing that Continuum Shift left me that Calamity Trigger didn't, is that Calamity Trigger left me with a lot of unanswered questions. Continuum Shift didn't. Like there was the only question that left me with was what happens next, which is what I liked.
Okay, that's good.
And that's all for me.
All right, Rhino, you go.
Okay, I'm gonna go straight into it. First of all, Star Fox Zero.
Woo!
I'll let you guys handle this one.
Okay then. Right. So, I've been looking online about this one, and it has got a lot of mixed reviews.
Yeah,
Some
a
people
lot of
like
whining.
it, some people love it, other people hate it. All because motion controls.
Ooh, the dreaded motion controls! We can't have motion controls!
So, I'm gonna put out what I feel about the motion controls. Dan, I'm pretty sure since you're gonna talk about this as well,
Yeah,
we might as well just share this
let's
segment.
just get into it both together. So what's your opinion?
Okay, so the motion controls. When I first started playing it, I was like, am I supposed to play like this using two screens when one's right in my lap and one's right over there, the TV, which is across the room from me. It was confusing, not gonna lie. But you know what? You learn how to deal with it. And once I actually got to the end of the just my first run, I was like, okay, I think I have a better feeling of the controls. Now I feel really confident with it. It feels really comfortable for me to use. But I can see why there are people that aren't fond of it, because it can be a bit finicky sometimes and just doesn't fit. It just goes a bit too much for you. But I found that was more my fault because I would end up moving around a bit too much while playing. So you do have to try and stay as still as you can, but you get used to it. It's not exactly too much of a hard thing. It's just difficult at first, but once you get used to it, but once you've got into it, you're fine.
Okay, so here's my background on the whole Star Fox series before getting into my opinion. I played a little bit, like barely 30 minutes on the N64 version on the Wii. Didn't get far into it at all, for some reason. And that's it. I have never played Assault or Adventures or the SNES games. After playing Star Fox Zero, I'm loving it. The game is awesome. The motion controls for me is like I put it in the setting where it only moves when you shoot, which is my preferred control.
Oh, you've got the ZR controls on.
Yeah, that's how I play the game, and it's so awesome. I just love it. I am officially gonna become a trans species now. I am gonna be a turtle, a space turtle. But yeah, I'm joking. But it's so awesome, and the level designs, most of them are good, except for Sector Greek Y. That mission is very tough and annoying. So, but it's
Greek Y.
That's the one with the missiles. You have to defend.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's super annoying, and but I just love the game, and I haven't even finished a first run through because I'm so much I'm just going back to previous levels and playing it.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. I mean, I've managed to I'm now able to play it on every level. I'm still trying to figure out how to get all the missions available and all the routes and everything.
Yeah.
Especially for arcade mode, and to get those frickin' medals.
Yeah,
oh boy.
It's a hunt. It's a hunt for finding the medals, but once you find it, the game is just so much fun. It was like, I'm pretty sure even if I 100% complete the game, I'm still probably wanting to go back to play some of the levels.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be one of my comfort games. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's such an awesome game, and the story is serviceable and it's good, but I did like it how they did an anime episode to hype up the story, and it was glorious.
Well, to be fair, it's the same story that they've been telling since Star Fox on the SNES, basically.
Yeah.
Andros wants to take over the Corneria system.
The Lilac system.
Or the Lilac system. It used to be called the Corneria system, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, he's trying to take over the Lilac system. You have to stop him.
Very simple. But I am so in love. I really love this game, and definitely fighting Star Wolf, like just flying around shooting, going into walker mode, or playing the tank, and even trying to get the most awkward control vehicle in the game is the helicopter. And it's only around for 2 missions.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's not too bad, really.
Yeah, it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. And for me, I got used to the controls as soon as the first level, and then I haven't even mastered it yet. It's definitely a control scheme that is, if you do the control option where you're only moving when you're shooting, it is easy to learn and get used to, but it's hard to master it. But once you do, you feel like an ace pilot.
Definitely. And I'm pretty sure this is no longer a spoiler because everyone knows how a Star Fox game ends if it's going through the Lilac Wars series. Lilac Wars ideal. You get to Venom, you face Andros.
Right, and Venom is, in this version, is basically a Death Star teleporter.
Yeah, pretty much. But I have to say, I really like how it actually happens. Going through the Omega Zone, which is basically a space junkyard before Venom.
Yeah.
At high speeds.
Yeah, and it was much like that ending in Star Wars Episode 6 when they're going to the Death Star. Like you're trying to avoid all the structures inside.
You could also basically say Episode 4 as well.
Well, the thing with Episode 4, it's a trench. It's a trench run. But with Episode 6, it's like when you go in there, it's like this tunnels with a bunch of bars that they had to dodge.
Well, you start off at the beginning, which is a trench, so... that's what I mean.
Okay. Point taken.
It has trench sections, and it has inside sections.
Yeah, it's basically the ending of every Star Wars. Almost.
Yeah.
All the good ones, at least.
Anyway, then... before you can actually get to Venom, it vanishes. The whole planet. You face the attack carrier with the same way you usually do, apart from
the most annoying boss.
How you'd actually...
that boss is so annoying. The final phase.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, the last half of bar. But to be fair, I'm glad they didn't make it the same way you usually do. Take out the launcher, take out the missiles. Attack, just keep spamming your shots at it.
Okay.
I'm glad they did try and mix it up, if I'm honest.
Well, I haven't played the original games, so as I stated, so to me,
yeah,
it was annoying.
but in Lilac Wars, yeah, well, trust me, if you played either Lilac Wars or Star Fox 64 or even Star Fox on the SNES, you'll know what I mean when I say it does feel much more satisfying now than it did back then, when it was basically the easiest boss in the game.
Okay.
Because it feels like it actually fits in with this game anyway.
Okay.
Then Fox notifies.
Come back,
General
Star
Pepper
Fox! Come back! I have something we could use to find where Venom is. What is it, Colonel? Not right now. I can't explain it until you get here, and when I get kidnapped along with the whole tower.
And then you face the frickin' gorilla mech. And insert dirty joke here, you have to shoot its butt and then hack its butt. Yeah, that's not strange at all. Then once you've taken care of that, Fox, it's the usual idea of Fox goes in alone to go after Andros. You find out that Andros was helping the scientists for the Canarian army to build a teleporter. He went mad and has ended up banished into another dimension, which apparently is in Venom.
And so Star Fox goes in after dealing with Star Wolf.
Fox goes in, not Star Fox. Fox goes in to try and... Fox goes into the... Venom.
I forgot. Star Fox is the name of the group, not the main character.
Yeah. So Fox is about to go into Venom to take out Andros. Star Wolf attacks him, and you take them out. 4v1.
And they also go into dinosaur mode or something.
No, they actually go... Their crafts turn into wolves.
Okay. I haven't played that part yet. I'm on, the Return of the Corneria. The part where, oh, we need your help, Star Fox.
Ah, you still haven't done Return to Corneria.
Yeah, but I am wanting to play it. Definitely playing it. As I told you, I get distracted by playing all the missions again.
Hey, guys.
Anyway.
Should we move on a little bit?
Alright.
Yeah. Basically, you get through that, and then you get to the Andros after flying through the space labyrinth area. This is much harder than what anyone would remember how to face Andros. He is in a cylinder where he can shoot out bits of it, as well as shoot out purple energy he lasers at you. You have to find a way into there by using your pilot view, by using the cockpit view. And then shoot the hands, and then escape. Rinse, repeat, to do the other hand, and then once you escape and avoid the purple lasers, fly in, shoot the frickin' head, and hit his weak point. Blows up, tries to take you out. Your dad saves you. You finish Andros off. Bada bing, bada boom.
And killing Star Wars Episode 4 Celebration, and done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, anything else?
So yeah, I'm not sure if this was I don't think we actually said this in episode 5. I can't remember. It's been that long. Pokken Tournament.
Yeah, you say it a bit, I think.
Yeah, I've got much better at that, and I've actually got the Pokken controller as well.
How is that?
And that actually feels really comfortable. It feels like I'm playing in the game with a PlayStation controller. I'm talking about the classic one, where there's only a left and a right button, not L1, L2 kind of thing. And no analog sticks either. feels really comfortable to play the game with. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. And finally, Dark Souls.
Just Dark Souls?
Dark Souls 3. What else is there to say?
Yeah, that's basically it. Dark Souls 3. I've been playing that. Okay.
That, seriously though, when I wasn't expecting it to be as anyone that hears me say this would just call me a dirty casual, and I'll say to them, bring it, I don't care. I can still whoop your ass if I try my hardest. So I think it's actually quite difficult. Some of the bosses are pretty easy. I mean, I managed to one-shot a couple of them.
Oh, you're so good.
But there are some of those bosses that just like, what the frig?
Yes.
I mean,
now continue.
The tutorial boss in this one, Grundy.
Born on a Monday?
Have either... Huh?
Born on a Monday?
No, just Grundy.
Okay. It was a Batman joke.
I know. Don't worry, I got the joke. But anyway, he is a real wake-up call for anyone that tried to just jump into Dark Souls 3 without knowing what the game was. Or if you hadn't learned how to play the game already. He is very tough and will quite easily kick your ass if you don't know what you're doing. Like he did to mine. 8 times. It took me 9 times before I managed to beat him. Not ashamed to admit that. Because
I don't know.
He's easy if you know how to beat him, but even then, you'll still be taken off guard at points.
Okay, is that all you have to say, or is there anything else?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Alright, so for me,
I've spent long enough.
I'm gonna be a little bit quick. So, I've been playing Bayonetta, Bayonetta 1 on the Wii U, and I'm loving that one. Fun action stuff, and I don't mind the religious symbolry or even like the lewdness of the game, of Bayonetta showing up for parts, because it's such over the top. It's just it's hilarious.
So Daniel, when I go back down to Massachusetts, I'm going to find you and hug you. Thank you so much.
Why?
Because I think we all can agree, Bayonetta is just too over the top to be taken seriously.
For me personally, I don't get any form of stimulus from the over the top of Bayonetta when she does her pole dancing routine on a spear.
And also, we know what the frickin' thing her ultimate moves are called, climaxes.
Yeah, it's literally, it's Platinum Games. They are known for doing over the top everything to the point that you can't take it seriously. And so, another one is, Aurion, the legacy of the Kori Ordan, which is a recently made, action RPG by I think it's an African company. which is about basically using a lot of Africa as its backdrop, because a lot of the main characters and most of the characters in the game are Africans in nature. So the story is about the king, a prince who just became king and who just wedded a woman, and unfortunately the royal couple on their wedding day, the woman's brother decided to show up and kick them out. On it. And so basically it's the game of them going on a journey to recover, to go on basically a spiritual journey to learn about the world and hopefully be strong enough to retake the kingdom. And I definitely like what I played so far. I like the interactions between the couple. I am definitely want to be in support of like couples in video games myself, and I really like how they portrayed them so far. And the combat is pretty fun. Don't like the constant loading screens though. That's my only complaint, really.
Well, how bad are the loading screens?
Well, let's see. You go into a block of area. You get a loading screen, like between two levels, which is very common.
Yeah.
And then when you go hit an enemy, because it's one of those games where you could avoid the enemies. Like, the enemies are going to move towards you, but you can avoid them if you want. If you make contact to do combat, you get a loading screen, a brief one, and then you get another brief one after the combat and after the final results. And then sometimes there's...
You get the one after the battle for the results.
Not the results. After the results. Like, they kind of rage...
Okay.
And yeah, that's basically it. And some with cutscenes sometimes they do loading screens as I remember. And then final one, I've been playing through Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is a cooperative card game online. They made a digital version, and they've been doing these weekly one-shots where they could take a villain deck and a bunch of hero decks, and you fight that villain, which is fun. Season 2 is on Kickstarter, gonna be ending this week, and it's fully funded. I'm excited for that. So yeah, I'm done. Well, it seems like we had to repel Andros' invasion, or raid.
Andros doesn't invade, he's just a floating head.
It didn't help that he'd send in the aliens from Signs. I ended up having to grab my wooden bat.
That joke is dated.
I just grabbed the nearest wooden crucifix.
Alright, so we are gonna start on the news, and so the latest news, we're just gonna focus on Nintendo, because what Nintendo has recently announced is that they're not going to do a digital event on E3. In fact, they're not going to have much of a presence at E3, with the only exception of showing off Zelda Wii U.
And they specifically said that they weren't having a digital event at E3.
Well, as far as I know, they
haven't said that they're going to do one. The only presentation they announced so far was Zelda.
Alright. And speaking of Zelda, they announced that Zelda... Yeah.
The Zelda Wii U game will be delayed until March of 2017 to coincide with the launch of the NX, as it is now also being developed for the NX.
And you can probably guess what's the reactions, ranging from whining to people being disappointed in Nintendo to people saying they've been lied to.
So Daniel complaining about Metroid Prime.
To us, just being like, meh.
Because for me personally, it's like the Wii U is still currently the best system to get most of the Zelda games, especially if you want to get the console releases. You got Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, and you are also getting the new Wii U game, and plus through the virtual console, you will be able to get Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, and all the older Zeldas. And if you're worried about not getting Skyward Sword, the Wii U is backwards compatible, so you can easily get it into your system.
Unlike food. That joke went nowhere. So, pretty much. So, what are everyone's opinions on this?
Well, I'm looking at it this way. They haven't said it's cancelled.
What, Zelda Wii U? Well, no, of course. It said it's March.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did take off their media site that... They did take off the fact that... On their main site, they did take off the fact that it was going to be March 2017. All they said was 2017, I think. But it doesn't mean much, because it...
Well, that was the last bit I... Yeah, that was the last bit I heard, at least, so...
I don't care, because I like it how, since we don't have Zelda, it seems like they're not going for a winter release at all for both the NX and Zelda, and doing it in the spring and the summer, which is actually one of the best times to release a game and console in this current state of the industry, because the winter time is going to get crowded by all the other pop games that are coming out at the time.
You know, like Call of Duty
and Battlefield.
And, no Assassin's Creed this year. That's new.
And also, it's not like Nintendo is not totally getting rid of the Wii U. It's just that they're, they have no big titles for the Wii U this winter. With the exception of...
They don't have any big titles, period, this winter.
Yeah. So, so Star Fox, it seems like to be their big title this year, which as you saw when I talked about it, it's an awesome game, and it's like the first Star Fox games ever since, for most fans, the N64.
Like, that salt wasn't bad.
Well, yeah, but a lot of fans didn't like the GameCube games, but even if you count the GameCube games...
And even fewer...
Apparently Command has the same reputation as Metroid Other M.
But I thought you liked Metroid Other M.
I haven't played much. I only played the intro part.
Easy people, Daniel is the type of person who hates Metroid Prime and loves Metroid Other M.
I didn't say I love it. I said I like it better on the story front.
Also, he doesn't like Metroid Fusion. I figure I should mention that.
No, I like Metroid Fusion. That doesn't mean I...
And he thinks Persona 3 is better than Persona 4.
Oh, no! No, not Rayquaza Wider! No! No! Persona 4 is a superior game than Persona 3. Ugh.
Anywho, so, speaking of other...
Now that we've done a job of making
come on, it's not too hard.
Dan rage...
Anyways.
So, yeah. The fact that it's not being cancelled is what I'm really happy about. I could care less about when a game comes out, as long as it does come out in a playable state.
Well, it can't just be in a playable state. It has to be in a it has to be a very good, polished game with a lot of extra stuff to it.
Let's put it this way: there are plenty of games that have actually come out that have been put in a less than playable state. Because of release dates.
There are some games that were delayed but did not do well because they didn't have good production, like some games that we don't talk about.
Or they're just going to end up being games that we never see anything about because they just keep getting pulled back.
If there's any game that comes out this year that really needs to show that being delayed and being pushed off despite having some information about it, it would be some people might think I'd be saying right at number 9, but actually Final Fantasy 15 is the game I'm thinking of. Because that's a game that was originally started plans announced back 10 years ago, and now it's finally being released this year. So, and Square Enix is putting a lot of eggs in their basket for that. So hopefully that will be a testament to how delayed games can be a good thing.
Yeah, and they even had to apparently also in game development, they had to redo the game, like back in 2013 or something.
Oh yeah.
Like,
huge.
They ended up having to scrap the old engine and make a new one or something.
Yeah, they're using Crystal. Yeah, they're using Crystal tools for Final Fantasy 15. But
for me, it's like, as long as Zelda Wii U is a good game, and I understand a lot of people being disappointed it's not coming out this year, and also a lot of them are still waiting because they didn't like Skyward Sword a lot. I think I don't care, and plus, but the Zelda has a lot of hype behind it. It's stating that it's going to be a different experience than the other traditional 3D Zelda games with, like, an open world where you can access any dungeons anytime. And also with very little information, you can think of all kind of stuff that would happen.
Yeah, obviously it's going to make more sense if they have a basic plot to follow that you're stuck in for a while, and then they're going to open up the world to you. Because that would just make more sense than just saying, like, you're in a world, go do what you want. Find the plot.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And I also, a lot of people are saying, like, they are upset that they're not going to announce on E3, like, about the NX on E3, and I would say, and to me it's like, there's still other venues that they can show the NX, like, there's other conventions like Gamescom, like
Tokyo
any of the
Game
PAX East, a bunch of other events, news events that still get press releases out there, and even a Nintendo digital event, which when live viewing doesn't get much press, but then the press spreads the news elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So people may not watch it on ground zero, but they will learn the news from secondhand sources.
And worst comes to worst, we can just all enjoy Federation Force, because that game's going to be great.
Yeah! I hope it is good, so that all the Metroid...
I hope it doesn't have region lock.
It's a 3DS game, of course it'll have region lock.
The only game that has... There's only been 2 games on 3DS that hasn't had region lock. Mario Kart 7 and Smash Bros.
Oh, those are 2 good games not to have region lock, though, so that's at least nice.
Well, had to get some good games, don't I?
Yeah, no, those are good games. No, I'm saying those are really good games not to have region lock, so... In other Nintendo news, in 2 days, there are going to be new information regarding Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out. On May 10th, 2016. Because if I say 2 days, you might be thinking, oh, wait. But it's May 10th now. This is being uploaded.
Is that going to be through a digital event?
No, just for a statement. They did. There is a time for it, which is 8 a.m. Eastern, but they never really specified how they're going to release the information. Whether it's going to be a digital event, presentation, giant foot fetish, a Snapple cap. They might do that too. They send Snapples to all the major news sources, and they just open up like, oh hey, the new starter is this, and it's a firefighting type. God damn it, Nintendo, stop doing firefighting types. So yeah, stuff like that might happen. And then they decided, oh, but we're gonna make the Rayquaza Rider an official character of Pokemon. And I'm like, yes, yes.
In your dreams, Ryder.
Hey. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire had someone riding Rayquaza. So, ha. You know what I did the day that I saw that?
You did.
You rode your Rayquaza around. That's what you did.
And you did jumping jacks at the same time.
Yes, I danced in over Jubilee's fangirlism for about 5 hours straight. No, I didn't actually. Okay, fine, I may have done that, but that doesn't actually mean anything.
I was wondering why your Rayquaza was always a bit tenuous about when I mentioned any other Rayquaza riders.
I need a distraction. Hey guys, did you know that Daniel's the one who started the petition for Federation Force to be removed?
No, I am not. Ugh.
Anyway, is there anything else about Nintendo we should talk about?
Other than I saw some gameplay footage of Tokyo Massage,
Mirage Sessions.
Yeah, that one.
Sharp FE.
Yeah, and based on, I am
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to that one. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good to hear.
Definitely a pre-order for me, and me for being a general fan of Persona, and it seems like a lot of Persona elements and even some Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I think you'll if you like Persona, you'll like that game because I played it at PAX East. It's pretty much a Persona game.
Yeah, speaking of PAX East, how was that?
It was fun. I tested out Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I tested out another game called I Am Setsuna, which if Jonathan was here, he'd be gushing me about to explain more. Which is that Chrono Trigger gameplay spiritual successor is coming out in the summer.
Cool.
Yeah, so I played those. Besides that, I just went to a bunch of panels and stuff. Like, went to the Runaway Guys panel on Saturday, which has those guys, Chucky Conroy, and Nintendo Caprice on those guys. And then, of course, Sunday I went to the Bravely Second panel, which is on YouTube, and if you're a fan of Bravely Second, I highly suggest you check it out. It's actually really nice and tells a lot about the game. Also, you can pretty much hear the audience just cringe about how the developers explain how they put in all the puns in there from the actual localization team and the producer. Oh, by the way, when freaking Anya said unacceptable for the first time when they did the cutscene, the freaking crowd just went like, ah. It was so great.
Alright,
Actually,
no.
Huh?
Oh.
There's actually one more thing I do want to mention about that panel, and actually is some that I actually am really happy about. One of the major fears that the co-producer who was there was worried about is that because this is his first time visiting America for a game, at least I think it was at least for Bravely series. That he was worried that he wouldn't get that many people coming to the actual panel. While the room wasn't filled up, it was still a very sizable crowd, which really showed how many JRPG fans are in America. And I'm really glad that we were able to show off for those who are watching. Actually, for the 8 people who are watching, and one of those 8 people who actually were there besides me. That was a joke. I'm really glad that we were able to show to one of the producers in Japan, that there is a audience for JRPGs here in America, and we can continue doing that by buying games like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Final Fantasy 15, Persona 5, and the Dragon Quest remakes when they come out. If you're interested in Dragon Quest, you don't have to be, but it's going to be really exciting when that you can see that there is an audience in there as well. And for those who I did see there, I'm glad I was able to interact and see and get all the street passes I did. Thank you for the 215 villagers I had at PAX East, by the way. That was really nice. Okay.
Alright. Is that it?
I believe so.
Alright, it's time to take our ships and land them back into the Great Fox. I am Daniel Elliott Van Dyke, Ninjato16, aka the Holy Ninja, and joining me was Rhino.
You just follow me on Twitch if you so wish. If not, you're not missing much.
And also Rayquaza.
I am the Rayquaza Rider. Stay tuned very soon for the upcoming summer of Rayquaza Rider's Summer of Hack and Slashes, where I will be playing every hack and slash game I have not played yet, starting with Bayonetta 2. So you will see that. Also, stay tuned for stay tuned for my upcoming review blog, which will be up sometime in the next month.
Alright, well, that is up. See ya, guys.